Good deal.
Recording now.
Okay, so hey guys, I'm Sheyenne Knox. I'm 21 and I'm a presidential diamond. I've been in the business for 3 years this December, like a week ago, and I actually joined as a senior in high school. So I had come across this business a couple of times before, and for some reason, I clicked on the Explore page that night that I decided to join, and I saw my upline posting a picture next to her brand new car that she had paid cash for and talking about how she made $30,000 a month. And I was like, okay, what are you doing and how are you scamming people? Because there's no freaking way that you do this for real. And I actually messaged her. I talked to her a little bit about the business, and I just genuinely fell in love with her. And I was like, okay, let's do it. I walked into the kitchen, asked my dad for $99 because I had to hold 20 cents in my bank account, and he paid for me to get started. My first month, I went Ruby and got the $500 bonus that was there at the time. And so my literal first paycheck in the business was over $1,000. And I was like, okay, she doesn't scam people. Like, this is legit. Like, this is real money. And so within 5 months, 3 days after I graduated high school, I went diamond and earned the $5,000 diamond bonus. I went to college. I paid all of my tuition in cash. I took over all my bills from my parents. I bought a new car. And then 10 months later, after deciding I wanted to just seriously take this business by storm and remove my head from my butt because I lost rank, I was struggling. After I went diamond, I lost rank to executive and I was making $100 a month. And if you know anything about bills, $100 doesn't go very far. And so I remember calling my upline, Jade Hooper. You all know who she is. I called her and I was like, look, like, I have bills to pay. I cannot make $100 a month anymore. Like, I need to get my diamond paycheck back. Like, I need to go double. And she was like, Cheyenne, just get your double diamond chart out and do it. And I was like, that's it? That's all you got to tell me, Jade? And she was like, no, you need to do it. And so I got my double diamond chart out that January, right before conference. I was maintaining Ruby and my paycheck was a hot $500. And I was thankful because it wasn't $100 anymore. I maintained diamond that February right after conference. The next 30 days, so in March, I went double diamond and saw over $5,000. And then we left conference 3 months later. That summer, I went triple diamond, earned the $15,000 bonus. And then 3 months after that, I went presidential diamond, earned the $25,000 bonus. So I went from making a $500 paycheck in January to 8 months later seeing over $25,000, all because I decided to get my head out of my butt. That's all I ever tell my team, like, just remove your head from your butt and like get to work. And that's what I did. And so ever since then, guys, I've been able to give more, save more, and live a life that not many 21-year-olds get to do. I went triple when I was 19. I went presidential 30 days after I turned 20. And now in March, I'm going ambassador. I've claimed it. I've got my big old chart over there. I've been I got charts all over my bed right here. I've not left my room since January 1st. Like, today was the first time I left and I went to dinner to be like a normal human. And it's just crazy because I was able to pay cash for a Tahoe. I actually have started looking into buying a house soon, and that started yesterday. It was just, was like, let's just do it. Like, I put it on my dream board. And so it's just crazy what this business can do when you just truly make a decision to remove your head from your butt and get to work and just go after your wildest dreams. And so that's my story.
That's freaking awesome. I know that there's so many of you who are listening to that part and you're like, that is me. That's where I'm at right now. And wanting those same results when we leave conference. And I love that that's your story and that you made that happen. I know that you said, like, she told you to just get out a chart and get to work, but like, specifically, what are some things that you changed in like your daily habits that you noticed made a difference in being able to make something crazy like that happen in such a short amount of time?
Yeah, so I've been doing coaching calls with my girls, and so I have a really good answer to this because I've solidified it, because everyone truly is in the same boat. Like, we were all, let me just say in the slightest way, 2019 was freaking great and really terrible, all in the same thing. Like, it needed to happen, and there was so much growth that happened last year, but man, it was terrible. And when I went from 2018 going from double to presidential diamond, and then I didn't promote one time last year. So for those of you that are on here that are like, I didn't have a good year, I didn't make the money that I wanted to, nothing, like, I didn't accomplish anything on my dream board last year. And that's partly why, like, I woke up, January 1st, just like, I am ready to do whatever God has prepared me for. And I just remember thinking last year, like, there was so much stuff that kept happening, and I was tested so much as a leader And I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but you need to hear it, so I'm going to do it. I was tested so much as a leader last year, and I was just like sitting there and I was like, I don't know why nothing's going right. Like, I'm doing all the things that I can do, and I'm trying to, and me and Julia were like texting back and forth all year last year, like, what do I do? I need to be doing something different. And, I ultimately came to the realization of like, God saw all the missed promotions and the struggles that I had and the issues that I was going through personally and all of those things. And he knew that, and he was ultimately preparing me for me. It's kind of like that picture where it's like God's taking away the little teddy bear from you and he's got the big old like monster sized teddy bear behind him. That's kind of what 2019 was like. It was like, here's this tiny little bear, but like, you just wait till 2020 because I've got a bigger bear behind me. That's kind of what it was like. And so that was just how that December, right before conference of 2018, I just decided, I reached out to Jade. Number one, I reached out for help. Reach out for help. Okay. If you're struggling, we've all struggled. Nobody at the top of the company has never not lost someone on their team or lost rank or lost people or lost volume. Like we've all struggled. That's why they're there. And so I ask you to reach out for help and go to your upline, because they can't help you if they don't know what you're struggling with, and they can't help you find a solution to your problem. So that was the first thing, was me reaching out. Second thing was just me deciding, guys, I don't talk about it as much as I should, but I came from nothing, literally nothing. My mom was an alcoholic. I had 4 siblings my mom made literally what I made in a month as a presidential diamond. Like, it just, we didn't come from much. And that is what ultimately drove me when I saw the fact that I had joined this business that was going to give me a way out and an opportunity to be something. And I was sitting there I was sleeping on it, essentially. I was just sitting here on this opportunity that I wasn't running with. And I just ultimately remember talking to Jade about it. And I was like, I want so much more for my life. And I'm not going to sit here and make $100 a month to show for it. Like, I did not come this far to only come this far. And I know that so many of you on here feel that way. You did not push through all the struggles and push through all the hard times for you to sit back and just let it take you over. Like, you're here to do big things. And so I got that double diamond chart out. I had 2 people working on my team, and they're both triple diamonds on my team now today. And those were the only 2 people. And I was like, look, we're about to do this thing. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I'm not going to try to figure out how. I'm going to figure out how, like, why we're doing this and what we're going to do to get there. And so I got out that chart. It was empty as heck. Okay. I put those 2 people that were working on my chart, and they were both on one side. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do the other. And I just when you have this feeling and just this fire of you knowing what you want, empty boxes suddenly don't become scary anymore. It becomes like a challenge, and I tell my team to do that. When you look at an empty chart, or maybe you're low volume, or you need to fill up, whatever, look at it as, how am I going to get this done and how quickly can I get it done, instead of, I'm so afraid of it. Because that's what I've learned the most from Jade when she told me that, was she was like, you can't run from it. You can't avoid how far you are from this promotion or what you need to get done. Like, you've just got to do it. And so I got that chart out. I started filling it one box by another. I think I needed 21 distributors to be charted for double. I turned the chart over, numbered it to 21, and was like, ready, set, go, team. Like, let's go. And I enrolled 21 distributors. I got charted that month, and I pulled in over 80 customers, over 60 BV, because I got my own personal results, guys. That picture of my face where it looks like I chopped my cheeks off with scissors? Like, that picture right there is what took me to double diamond. So if you have not got your own personal results, guys, that is the key to it all. When you get your own personal results, not only are you going to be able to seal the deal with your customers way easier, you're also going to feel super confident. I mean, how many of y'all got results with our skincare or the cleanse or keto coffee and chocolate greens, and suddenly you feel like you could sell this to Kim Kardashian? You're like, hey girl, you ever heard of our coffee before? Because like, you feel that badass about it, honestly. So I got my own personal results. I filled that chart, and then I filled those people. We are paid on 2 things in this business. You are paid to enroll customers and enroll distributors. And if you have your chart out, all you have to do is fill those boxes with people and fill the people with customers. And that's how I've always explained charting. Like, you can't figure it out. You fill those boxes with people and you fill those people with customers. That's it. That's all you can do. You can't run from it. You can't go backwards. You can't avoid it. Like, that's all you have to do. And so that's what I did every single day. I consistently started, and like I said, you have a different fire when you know you want something. And so I was out there sharing this business in every way that I possibly could, and telling my story in 14 different ways. I mean, I was telling ultimately the same thing of, I went diamond, I went this. And how many of you feel like you don't have a story to tell? Let's be honest. You're like, I don't have a story to tell. I've done nothing in this business. Or, maybe you haven't promoted, or maybe you've been here for a while, or maybe you promoted a long time ago and you feel like you don't have anything to tell. Y'all, let me tell you something. every single one of you have a story. You just haven't told it yet, so you feel like you don't. Every single one of you have gone through something, you've done something, you've struggled before, you've had successes, like you've had things that you can talk about. And so when I joined this business, I was 18, okay? So I'm over here talking about, you know, my life before and how I'm going to be making $500 a month. I'm going to be making $2,000 a month. I was literally just talking about where I was going. And then what happened? I did those things. So then people saw me shouting it out and then they saw me do it. That's the same thing of how Double Diamond came along. I shouted out Double Diamond for 10 months, y'all. 10 months. Every single month I made one of those word swag pictures and I was like, September 2017, Double Diamond. Nope. Okay, next month. October 2017, every single month. But I persisted, y'all. And that's why people stayed with me and they followed my journey. And then when I went Double Diamond, my business exploded because I did something I said I was going to do. And then it was just after that, we just kept going and kept going because I had just shouted out the goal so many times over and over and over that it was just bound to happen. But tell your story as many times as you can. Get that chart out. Face it even if it scares you because you're not going to be able to figure out how. You don't know how because if you can do the natural, God's going to do the supernatural. And still to this day, when I went triple and presidential, I did not get charted for both of those promotions until the 16th and the 19th. So I wasn't even fully charted for the promotion. And I was over 20,000 volume away from triple and presidential when I went. And I could have sat there and said, how in the Sam heck is this going to happen? I don't know. Like, should I even try? Like, this feels stupid. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was ultimately just ready to happen. And that's why I always say, like, if you can do the work every single day and you can show up, God's going to show up for the rest.
I love it. That was amazing. So many like points that I want to touch on. The first thing that I really want to touch on is you saying like reach out for help. And I know personally for me, like I am itching for people to ask me for help. Like I want to find the people who want it because I'm looking for you. Like every single day I'm looking for those people. There's a lot of people who have, you know, joined with me and then you fell off and then you're back on. Like if you text me, you're back on. I don't care how many times you've fallen off. Like I'm ready to run at any time. So I think that most leaders and uplines are going to feel that same way. And the next thing is like the charting is huge. I know for me, for the longest is like, if I wasn't ready to promote, I didn't want to make a chart because in my head, it made it seem like it was too far away and it would just get scary, but you don't know what you don't know. Like if you don't know how many people you need, like how can you have these goals that you're working towards? So you have to like figure out exactly what you're running for and get that chart out, like she said, and really have a vision and a goal that you're running for. So that was amazing. Like so many aha moments there. For this year. So actually, let's go back a little bit. So last year you touched on it, that it was a hard year. In our trainings, we've said that like a million times. I think it was like a universal hard year for like everybody on planet Earth, I noticed. And we've talked a few times about like the biggest lessons that we learned, but what are like maybe your biggest takeaways from this year being difficult, something that you learned that really stuck with you?
So I was talking about this to one of my triple diamonds actually, because I was telling her, you know, she's getting really close to presidential. And at one point last year, she texted me and she was like, I don't even know if I'm made for this anymore. Like she just got to a point where, you know, the devil isolates you and he can influence you when you're farthest away. She was struggling so bad. And she just told me, she's like, I don't know if I can even do this anymore. Like, I don't know who's even working anymore. I can't keep up with how fast my volume's going down. And I mean, she was preaching to the choir. I'm over here sitting here like, I don't know what's going on either, sister. But I just remember talking to her about this. And then today we were talking about how many new girls she has on her team and how she's getting so ready for presidential. And I mean, that was 3 months ago. And so to me, what I learned the most out of last year is that there were so many times that I questioned myself as a leader. And I was like, am I doing this right? Like, I don't even know if I'm even working the right way or leading the right way. And I was just trusting my, you know, instinct of this is the right thing. And that there is something to be learned in every single thing that you go through. And the things, and I look back at when I lost strength from diamond and I tried to go double for 10 months and I was struggling so bad in that point in my business. Still to this day, I take most from that that's still getting me through today, from things that I learned in the darkest moments of my business. You will learn the most when you're at rock bottom than you'll learn at the top. I promise you. The highs, you know, when you're super pumped and you're promoting and you're getting these huge paychecks and everything's going great, you're not really learning anything. You're just excited. You know, you're like, heck yeah, like things are going great. But when it's bad, you have to learn how to get through things, and you have to learn how to have grit and how to have discipline and work when you're not getting results. Like, all of you that are here, give yourself a pat on the back, sister, because you pushed through the bad. And that is why the good is going to feel so much better. And that's the thing that I took the most, is that there were so many things I had to learn through, so many things that happened last year that I didn't think I'd go through. People left that I thought would be here with me like forever. And people stayed that I figured would have been gone 3 years ago. Like, you know, and it's just, I learned so much about how every single situation I went through, there was something to be learned. And so there were so many times I sat through it and I was like, okay, God, what are you trying to teach me through this? Because I was not expecting it, but I guess I'll take it because it's here for a reason. And everything you go through is setting you up for something else. Because let me tell you what, if you never had something bad, if you never lost rank, if you never saw a paycheck decrease, if you never had someone leave your team, what are you going to do when later down the road you have someone on your team that's going through the same thing you went through? You wouldn't know how to lead them through it. You'd be like, oh, I don't know, you'll get through it just like we all do. Like, you won't have that personal connection. And so now I've gone through all of those things. And so now when, you know, my girl went through that and I was like, look, I've gone through that and I'm on the other side and I've overcome that. And I know that you will too. And now she's talking to me today about Presidential Diamond. Like, it's so crazy what can happen in such a short amount of time if you just stay faithful. I mean, that's really it. If you walk in faith and not fear.
Yes, I love it. And I think too, like, what makes your story so exciting and so inspiring is the fact that, you know, you did lose rank and you were able to make that happen and you pushed through. And that's what makes it inspiring. That's what makes you a great leader. And I think that that's one of the main things that I learned is I won't like have a story to tell my team that everything was always peaches and cream. Like, there was so many ups and downs and like lessons learned through those seasons that I think are huge. So I think that I can say for everybody that we've noticed a huge energy shift with like the new year. And I've never really been super big on just like a new year, but this year I was like, anything like January 1st, I went to bed early. I didn't even stay up till midnight because I was like, I want this new year. And so I told my team that like the new year is great and all, but we have to have this energy shift. And I've really felt it with my team. If you have, can you tell us a little bit about like what you guys are visioning for the new year and like what your goals are and plans are and things like that?
Yeah, so I feel you on that 100%. And I kind of talked about this like last year when I was prepping my team for the new year. I was like, guys, like, we can't sit here and wait for a new year to change our mindset. Like, we truly can't. And in my head, I was waiting. I was like, 2020, I cannot wait for 2020. And that's what I was doing, even when I was trying to tell them not to do that. But, you know, Ashley Sinclair, I'm sure most of y'all know her. She's the fastest ambassador. So she did it in 11 months. She posted in our Triple Diamonds and Above page, and I would totally read it to you, but it's really long, so I'll tell you a synopsis of it. She basically just said, like, you know, I feel a shift, and it's not only because it's 2020. Like, it's not all why. I feel a shift in our company. And, you know, I know when the leaders went to Costa Rica and Mark shared, you know, what was going on with the company and just how our word for 2020 is more. And that just means a lot because you sit there and you see Mark, and when he says we're going on a run, I don't doubt him. I don't doubt anything that our company has for us. I mean, guys, we're a debt-free company, so we can do whatever the heck we want. I mean, they can literally do whatever because they've got all the money to do it. I mean, he knows that we're about to go on a run, and he's been here for 20 years, and he knows what the company feels like when we're about to. And he said, you know, 2020 or 2019 was a year of growth. And I can tell you I've grown most last year because I could focus on that because I wasn't focusing on promotions because they didn't happen. I was focusing on growth, and I was focusing like, how can I stay above water at this point? Like, I was just trying to make it. That's what I was focusing on, and that's what we all were. And he was like, considering, you know, everything that we did and all the things that we went through, that's preparing us for more money, more people, more abundance, more distributors, more customers, just more overall. And so that's what I feel that so much. And I just feel that shift already. I mean, how many of y'all feel that? I know, like, our team, our distributor enrollments have been crazy over the last 6 days. Even after I enrolled more distributors when it went back to $99 and when it was $69. I'm like, where are you people coming from? And they're just people that have been coming out of the woodworks because I'm over here talking about ambassador and promotions and excitement and vision and 2020. And these people are like, okay, I've been watching you for long enough. I'm like, I realize. I'm glad you're here. Hello, welcome. So, you know, I think too, it starts with you guys. if you want this year to be better than last year, which I know you do, you have to start today, and you have to be the one that's going to topple over that first domino for your team. That's going to push all of the rest over. And if I wasn't excited about going ambassador or reaching another goal, my team wouldn't be pushing for as much right now because they wouldn't have someone leading the pack. And it ultimately comes down to that. I know some of you are like, well, I'm so far from being charted. Stop trying to figure out how you're going to do it and just run. Like this, there is no better time to promote when you're doing it with everybody. Like I imagine all of us on this track running together. A couple of months ago, some people were out here just like doing a 400, just running by themselves. And now we're all on the same track running together. And there's no better feeling than when Julia is pushing for a promotion and Juliana is pushing for a promotion and Kiana and like all these people are pushing together. Why not do it together? You know, if everyone's going, that's like when the tide rises, all ships rise. Some of you are still back there on the shore. Like you're getting stuck and you're going to get left behind. Like you've got to do this with everyone else. And so you've got to shout out these goals and you should feel stupid doing them. Like, so I'm over here, like I put top 15 on my dream board and I keep staring at it. Like every time I look at my dream board, it's in gold letters. So I get distracted by it and I'm like, top 15, oh my God. I'm not trying to figure out how to do it. I'm just doing the things that I know how to do that I've seen get people to top 15. And there are people, since I've joined, guys, this is what makes me so excited, is top 20 has not been the same every year. It's been completely different. Our top 20 retreat is completely different. And that's because you've got to just focus on how you're going to get there. And that's enrolling distributors and enrolling customers, guys. That's it. That's the only thing you can do. So I challenge you to shout out a goal that feels ridiculous, to make a dream board of things that you feel stupid. Like I did a coaching call with a girl the other day and she got on and I was like, what are your 90-day goals? And she was like, I want to go ambassador by March. And I was like, okay. I was like, what rank are you? And she's like, I'm a distributor. I was like, yes, girl, this is it. Okay, me too. So let's do it together, okay? Like, you just have to be so excited and you have to just shout out things that you just feel stupid doing. And the thing is like, you stop trying to figure out how and you just start doing all of these things. And pretty soon you're triple diamond and then you're presidential 3 months later. And you're like, how did this happen? Like, how did I see $400 when I went to conference and my card declined at McDonald's, y'all? When I went to conference, it declined at McDonald's. It did. And now I remember sitting there and I was like, this is never going to happen again. I bet you money I will never have my card decline at McDonald's again. I split that room. I put my account was $80 in the negative when I left conference. And I was like, Dad, if I need something on my way home, I'm going to need you to transfer me some money, but you'll never have to do it again ever. And he never has. And that's because I shouted out these goals that I was like, I have no earthly idea how this is going to happen. I have no idea, but I'm going to run like the wind to figure it out. And this is the thing, is so many of you have come from something, or something has happened in your life, or you have some reason as to why you're still here. And that is what should keep you up at night when you go to bed before your 6 list is done. And that is something that should make you shout out a goal that is so freaking massive, but you're not afraid of it because you want that so much more than where you don't want to go. And when I first started this business, I didn't know what the hell I wanted. I didn't. I was 18 and I'm just like, I don't want to live off ramen noodles. That's what I know. I don't know why I'm here, but what I do know is what I don't want. And some of you need to stop trying to figure out why you're here and figure out what you're running from, because you got to get past that and you've got to start going and making some massive goals this year and not trying to figure out how you're getting there. Just run like the wind.
Yes, I'm getting so pumped up. One thing that I wanted to touch on is you talked about like how the top 20 has changed every year. And I've noticed that too. And one thing that I always catch myself thinking is like, wow, she came out of nowhere. And I remember when you first like had your little storm and you came through, I was like, who is this? She came out of nowhere. But like the truth of the matter is you were putting all of this work in when nobody was seeing you. And I think that that's a huge thing to touch on, is that nobody was rooting for, the Sheyenne when her card declined at McDonald's. Nobody, that I know of, nobody was just like, yeah, do you want to do a Zoom for my team? But she was putting in that work when people weren't noticing and when people weren't seeing you. And I know a lot of you guys have felt that way before, that you feel like unseen and nobody is rooting for you and nobody is cheering you on, and they're probably not. Like, you just have to put in the work because you signed up for you at the end of the day. And that's one thing that I've always thought that she was incredible at, is that like you just decided one day, I'm going to do this, and then started making your way even before people were noticing. So all of these people that you see come out of nowhere, they don't come out of nowhere. They were putting work in before they were seen. And I think that that's something that should inspire every single one of you on here, is like, when you go to conference, there's probably not going to be a line of people wanting to take a picture with you. But like by next year, there very well could be. You could be on the stage talking, and like those are things that you need to keep in mind, that like you can come out of nowhere too. And I love that like she did this in a year. And so everybody on this Zoom can do the exact same thing if you're willing to put in that, same amount of work and effort. So I'm really excited about that. I love that.
I want to add something to that really quickly.
Yeah,
so I'm very red. If y'all don't know me, I love you to pieces, but I'm going to like smack you into shape if you're like out here sleeping. Okay. I love that she said that, guys, because so many people that are on my team or that are in this business or that guys, you have no idea how many messages I get every single day. And I just wish I could reply to everybody, but I can't. But the number one thing I get is people saying, like, well, my entire team quit and I just don't know what to do. And I just don't think I can do this anymore. Why are you allowing other people to keep you from where you're going? You are in this business for you, especially if you just got started. Like, you're trying to make something happen in your own life. Okay. I joined this business for me. I didn't care who was watching. I was 18. So literally every single person that I went to high school with thought it was funny to tweet about me and make posts about me and laugh at me. And I was like, you just wait. All of you, just wait. You watch, okay? And now they're all blocked, so they can't see my success. But you're welcome, everybody. Here's the show. So when I promoted and I did all that stuff, like, guys, nobody was, I don't even think, I remember asking my upline, okay, so Courtney Bohr is my upline. She's the only person to hit the top of the company twice, okay? That double, like, Ambassador 2.0, it's freaking crazy. And I asked her, I was like, did you think when I was just this little puny person that was maintaining executives that like nobody knew over here was going to be your main promoting leg on your 2.0 account? And she was like, no, I did not. She even probably just doubted me, not in a purposeful way, just was like, I don't know what this girl's doing down here. So guys, you need to start doing this business for you. And you need to stop sitting there waiting for someone to come cheer you on to get your goals done. Like, Courtney, loved me through it, but she kept promoting. She was still popping diamonds while I was over here struggling maintaining executive. She led me. She loved me, but she wasn't going to sit there and be like, come on, like, let's go, Sheyenne. Like, you can not. No, that's not how it was. I did this for me. And I was like, you know what? I want more for my life. And y'all are too dependent on other people and your team. If your team doesn't work, do it your damn self. That's it. Nobody on my team was sitting there working the business for me. I had 2 people working on my team. They're both triples now, but they didn't know how to enroll then, and they enrolled like two fat fighters and 2 greens on the go, okay? Like, it wasn't some spectacular thing. I made a decision. I went after what I wanted. I didn't wait for other people to do it. I didn't wait for that runner to join my team. That's not existent, okay? I was not a runner in Courtney's eyes when I was maintaining executive for 10 months, okay? I was the runner for myself. So stop working your business for other people and waiting for people and waiting for that hype. Like, nobody knew who I was until I was like, hi. Same with Courtney, my upline. She was like number 75 when I joined, and now she's number 3. Start working, y'all. Get it together. Now's the time.
Yes, I love it. We're both very red, so a training with us could be like really scary. When Barb asked me, I'm like, are you sure, girl? Because we're both like a little bit fiery. So a 6 list. I know we have a lot of newbies on here, and I heard you touch on that. Can you explain what that is and what you do every day?
Yeah, so I've started this new system since January started, because it's really easy to like say, oh, I haven't finished my work, so I'm just going to like do it tomorrow. But like, when you actually see what you have to get done, it gets done a lot easier. So a 6 list is just 6 things that we do every single day to work this business. Okay. You message, you post, you follow up, you interact, and you plug in. That's my 6 list. Okay. So when it comes to messaging, some people have a stigma against messaging, and they're like, oh my gosh, I feel annoying, or I don't know what to say, or I get ignored, or people say no, or all of this stuff. Like, guys, I message every single day, not expecting to get responses, but to plant seeds. When I message every single day, I'm getting in people's faces. I'm giving them this opportunity. If they don't want it, don't take it, but you're going to watch me now because I messaged you. So I message people to buy the products or to join the business with me every single day. And I'm just constantly planting those seeds with people, because what's going to happen when you send someone a message? If someone were to message you right now, what would you do? Click on their profile, because you're going to go see like, who's this crazy person messaging me? Who do they think they are? So then we post. Okay. So you probably joined this business because you saw your upline posting. And that's the biggest disconnect, is when people join this business, they don't stay consistent. They post for 2 days and they're like, crap, nobody wants the products, I'm out. Like, would you even buy from you? Like, would you buy from somebody that just posted about products for 2 days and peaced out? No, I don't No, they don't. So you have to stay consistent in posting and just staying. Like I had a girl join me who I messaged the day after I joined, and she joined 2 days ago. 2 days ago. That is why people get to the top of this company, is because they stay consistent through the good, the bad, the no's, all the times you have to sit there and wait for somebody to watch you. They're still watching you, okay? So you post every single day, talking about the products and talking about the business, and never stop, okay? There are weeks where I go, still to this day, I can go 3 weeks with posting every single day and not have one person reach out to me about the business, not one. And then like this week, I've enrolled 7 distributors in the past 48 hours. And I've never talked to these girls before, ever. They just came to me because they've been watching me every single day. So some of y'all would look at that and you're like, oh my gosh, she enrolled 7 distributors. Well, do you see how much work I've put in for the past 3 years to get these people to join me? Like you're comparing your day 2 to my chapter 340. Like you've got to put in the work consistently. The third thing is following up. So if you went and you added stuff to your cart at Forever 21 and you got to the checkout and realized you had to pay $5.99 shipping, and you were like, I'm out. I'm not paying $5.99 shipping. I'll wait. Okay. You're going to have people like that all the time. They're going to think about it. They're going to change their mind. They're going to get cold feet. They don't want to pay the extra shipping. They have other bills to pay. You have to be the person that's going to stay up on them consistently and sending those emails that you get from Forever 21 and Victoria's Secret. And then finally they do a semi-annual sale and suddenly you've got money. Okay, that's what we do. Follow up consistently so that you stay in front of people whenever they look we're girls, okay? We look in front of the mirror sometimes and we're like, whoa, where'd that weight come from? A little bit too much Taco Bell. That's me all the time. You have customers that are watching you every single day, and what are they gonna do when they're like, they need to lose weight? Cheyenne sells keto coffee and chocolate greens. Bam, all the work I've done now makes sense. So that is why we follow up. Fourth, I think we're on is following. So if you had the same 20 people on your social media that you posted to for 2 months, some of them are going to join you. Some of them are going to block you. Some of them already buy from somebody else. Some of them think you're annoying, and some of them just want to support you and follow you, but they're not going to buy from you. If you posted those same 20 people every single day, you're going to run out of people. So you have to grow your network constantly and get new people to your page, because fresh fish jump first. Fresh fish jump first. Some people will watch you over and over and over, and sometimes they just need to see you succeed. So you've got to have some new people coming into your business so that they can watch you succeed. And then the last thing is just interacting. I think interacting is important. I spend a lot of my day doing this, and I know Juliana, I just mixed both of y'all. Help. Julia does this. I'm sure Juliana does too, but I interact so much with my followers, commenting back with people, swiping up on stories, asking them where they get their shirt from, just commenting on their stuff so that when I do message them or they see my post, we kind of have a little relationship going, okay? Social media is a little bit weird, and I can't go up to somebody and talk to them like I normally would. So social media, the way to do that is just getting in their inbox and getting them to see your name consistently. So when you message them, they're like, oh, I know this girl. I like her. She works hard. Stuff like that. And then the last thing is plugging in. So just like Julia said at the beginning of this, that's really confusing. I don't like that y'all's names are like that. In the same setting, I'm confusing you. So it's just like she was saying at the beginning. If you had 2 people on your team and one of them blew up your phone and the other one never talked to you, who are you going to work with? The one blowing up your phone. So if you are somebody that's plugging in, you're getting on the Zooms that they're hosting. I have never seen something more disrespectful than when I host a training and people don't get on my trainings. I took time out of my day for you, and you can't get on while you're sitting in bed watching Netflix. What do you mean? You don't need to be successful if you can't show up to my training every single Sunday at 8 Central Standard Time that I've done for 3 years for you. So when you have leaders that do team trainings for you, it's an hour of your week. You can do it. I believe in you. Get on the trainings, get on the Facebook Lives, get on the team Zooms, get on the stuff that's in your team page, because we don't do it to hear ourselves talk. Okay, I give 99.9% of my success to getting on these trainings, because I hope that you've learned something from this. And if you wouldn't have, there was one training that significantly just sticks with me. It was with Christy Christensen. She's an ambassador. I think I was a double, and I did a team training with her, and she told us to stop asking people's budget. When I joined, I used to ask people what their goals were and what their budget was. And people don't know how much they want to spend when they don't know what they're talking about. And I get people that were like, oh, My boyfriend always calls me every single night at 8, and I'm like, I have trainings. Quit calling me. Okay, so I remember, and I asked, and she was like, do not ask budget, because these people are telling you $30 when they would spend $300 if they knew what you had to offer. That one training changed my entire business, because if I'd probably still be asking people's budget if it wasn't for Christy. So definitely get on trainings, because you have no idea that you may take one thing away from one person, or find that one leader that influences you and inspires you so much. I mean, there's people that I have on my team that look at me and they're like, you're big and scary. I don't like you. Like, I like somebody else. And I have girls that are obsessed with Julia, because that's all they ever talk about. They're like, can you get Julia on a training? Can you get Julia on a training? I'm like, we just had her on one. Can we get her on another one? Like, some people are just inspired by certain people, and you could be one Zoom away from finding this person that just consistently pushes you to be better. So that's the 6 list. I hope I just didn't blab for 50
That was perfect. And I think, like, at the end of the day, that just showing up and staying close to the fire is what's key, because this isn't a complicated business. Like, I've done other jobs and had other businesses and things like this. This is not complicated. It's very simple. Like she said in the beginning, that you get out a chart and you fill the boxes with people, and then you fill them with customers. It's not confusing. At the end of the day, you just have to be willing to put in the work and show up consistently. And I think that for me, that was the biggest lesson I learned over last year, is that just keep showing up. Like, even if the results aren't immediate, even if you can't see it right away, just keep showing up and you're going to see those results. So I'm super fired up. Hopefully you guys are. Go to the team page, whatever team page you're on, and drop your aha moment. I love reading those. And thank you so much for doing this training. I'm pumped. And I'm rooting for you for ambassadors.
See y'all at conference.
Less than a month. Bye, guys.